Good morning, my deal hunters. It is I, Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, coming to you live as we do each and every single week on this live Q&A session where we discuss how you can find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal right here in the Colorado Springs market. But let's face it, there are deals everywhere. So this education, this knowledge that you can gain from this show and by becoming one of my coaching students is invaluable anywhere that you happen to be watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. With that in mind, if you are here, please reach out on the private chat. Let me know you're here. Say hello. I love to see people waving and smiling and letting me know that they're here and asking questions. This is a two-way conversation. I am live. This is not a recording unless you're seeing this later on. But right now, in the moment, you have your opportunity to ask any of your real estate questions and get a solid answer from a foreclosure expert. And who am I? Well, you know what? In the past 10 years of my career, I've done over 300 flips right here in the Colorado Springs and surrounding areas. Our best years, and I say our, referring to my wife and I did this together. And so we did 45 flips last year, 47 flips the year before that, and then 40 flips the year before that. And I got to tell you guys, if I learned anything from doing that many flips, is that I didn't want to personally do that many flips again. Although the money was absolutely incredible, the lifestyle, the amount of work it requires to put that many flips together, the team that we had was awesome, but it definitely took a great deal of work to maintain an operation at that size. So today, though they say those who don't do teach, well, that's what I've transitioned to. Rather than doing that many flips myself, because I still love it, it's still one of my favorite processes out there and a great way to make money as well. Now I help other people just like you to do their first foreclosure deal or subsequent foreclosure deals with my personal objective to get to 50 clients right here in the Colorado Springs market who want to do 4 flips per year at an average profit of $25,000. That means that my students, my clients are going to be making about $100,000 a year on their foreclosure investing portfolio while I'm helping them to find those deals, analyze the deals, fund the deals, fix them using my contractors, and flip them using my preferred agent that's offering a huge discount on the listing side of it because you want to support my clientele in their journey to build wealth. So what does all that add up to? Well, if you're here today, the reason you're watching is to learn a little bit more about the foreclosure investing market. Let's start where the foreclosures are. HUD properties. We're going to discuss HUDs a little bit today because HUDs are near and dear to my heart. And I got to tell you that I spent majority of my investing career started around the HUD properties. If you remember my foreclosure channel, Colorado Foreclosure Deals, gosh, had to be 10, 12 years ago now, where I was going online. I would go to different HUD foreclosures and I would film them and show people what they could buy. That really is what started the whole foreclosure deals mantra, if you will, to help others find deals. I was a top real estate agent in the foreclosure space. I worked with all the solid REO agents here in town, built relationships with them, and those relationships have carried on to now, allowing me to be a great source of deals for my clients and, for myself when I'm occasionally buying a deal. So what I want to do today is show you the HUD foreclosure site. It has changed recently. They did a couple of remodel changes and they were well overdue on that. So I'm super excited about it. But here's what HUD foreclosure listings look like now. So if you head over, this is the HUD site. It is HUD Home Store. I actually get there by HUDHomestore.com, but it says HUDHomestore.gov. It's a government site where FHA foreclosures live. What is a HUD foreclosure? Well, it's a loan that was originally an FHA loan. FHA is not a lender, as it's commonly misconceived to be, but rather an insurance company. So the bank lends you the money. You put 3.5% down on an FHA loan. The bank lends you the money to buy the property, and should something go wrong, and let's face it, in life, things tend to go wrong at some point. When if the FHA takes the property back, it pays the bank back for the note, and then it keeps the property as collateral. That becomes a HUD property. Now, there's a common misconception that HUD homes are trashed. I can tell you over years of buying HUD property, some of them are trash, just like any other foreclosure, but some of them, like what I'm going to show you today, are simply well-priced opportunities that are priced below market on day one, because the federal government is not super good at pricing homes, and they're not interested in really making a profit generally. They're interested in offloading that capital, recovering their investment, if you will, so they can lend that money to another potential FHA loan buyer. This is a huge opportunity for us as investors, because you can buy a HUD property as an owner occupant for as little as $100 down. Okay, they're really motivated to offload these properties, so they have $100 down payment programs on HUDs in certain regions that need a little bit of help to move properties. They are always priced slightly below market. In certain cases, we usually gauge at about 10% below market, but you can definitely find HUDs below that as well. The point is, they're a great opportunity. That misconception that they're trash, though, is what I want to take on today. Here's a HUD listing on Yazoo Drive. It's a cool name. That's located in the Banning Lewis Ranch subdivision, so 80925. So kind of eastern part of Colorado Springs, if you will, east of the Powers Corridor. Let's take a quick look at this one on Yazoo, just to confirm what I'm saying, that it's not exactly trashed. Check out the inside. This house was built, I think it was built in let's look. We're on the photos. Let's get some details. So it's not that old is the point. It was built in 2020, okay? So a practically new home that unfortunately for the owner was foreclosed upon because they couldn't afford the payments. And that happens, guys. Divorce, death, job transfers, poor money management. There's a ton of reasons why people end up foreclosing on properties. It's not necessarily that the house is trashed. It's that the situation was not good for the seller. So here we are inside of Yazoo Drive, granite countertops, practically new cabinets and countertops, because again, the home was only built 3 years ago. So it's practically new. We take a look inside. The carpet looks pretty solid. The vanities look pretty solid. This is a solid deal because it's going to be priced below market. I can tell you, I haven't run the comps on this yet. We certainly could, but I would tell you that generally speaking, I would expect this property to be worth somewhere around 500, maybe slightly less than that based on a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, but it certainly could be 520 or 530. They're selling it for 452, and you bid on this property as a HUD buyer, and the government system tracks your bid and determines whether they're going to accept that bid. It is all done digitally. It's like the ultimate bot, if you will, to sell properties. HUD had to really cut their costs to offload these houses because they don't have a ton of money, so they got to do this cheaply. But this is an opportunity for somebody who wanted to buy a deal. Generally, HUD listings start their first 30 days as owner-occupant only, meaning you have to agree to live in the property for the first year of ownership of the home. They do that because they want to, reduce the amount of investors who are working in these properties to start with. After 30 days or so, it becomes available for the open market to bid on these properties. This is an opportunity in a lot of cases. You can also bid below the asking price on the property. Obviously, in a highly competitive market, you're going to have a lot of bids at the same time you're bidding, so you may not get it for much below the property value. But in cases like now, when things are a little bit slow, you can actually get a great deal on a HUD foreclosure. This is one place that I look for deals for my clients all the time, and we find some great deals on the HUD market because they're available. This is one of the many ways that you're definitely going to benefit from the coaching, because when we figure out, we're going to find your deal together, then I'm going to analyze that deal with you to make sure that it's a solid deal that you're going to make a profit on. Then I'm going to help you to fund the deal using my private and hard money lenders to do the funding on the property. Then we're going to fix the deal with my vetted network of contractors and sell it at a profit. We try to average $25,000 in profit. I haven't done enough of the analysis on this deal to tell you if this is a $25K profit just yet, but it's definitely a deal because it's a HUD foreclosure and it's priced to move. They want this property to be gone. Love to hear your questions about HUD properties. While we're waiting for questions though, let's look at some other HUDs. Here's one on 123 Bradley. It's located in Security Whitefield area. Generally speaking, I would tell you this is probably worth pretty close to 400,000, 380, 390, right? Just kind of on the surface. Needs a lot more work than the one we just looked at, right? But they've done some of the remodeling work. If you were to go in and update this, finish the remodeling that needs to get done, this property could easily sell for 400 grand. Is that enough spread to make this a deal? That's what we got to determine. We got to dig a little bit deeper into this home and determine if this is a good deal for you as a client. And this is what stops a lot of people from doing deals, right? They see these opportunities and they go, yeah, it looks priced well, but how do I know if it's a deal or not? Well, guys, the solution there is to know your analysis, know how to do the proper analysis on a property. That's where I come in as your coach. I've analyzed literally thousands of deals over the time that I've done all of these fix and flips. And obviously I've rejected a great deal more than I bought. But if it's a deal, you've got to act quickly because the good deals simply do not last very long. Okay, so that's a sign of a deal. If it's on the market for a prolonged period of time, it's probably not a deal. If it goes pretty quickly because you found it fast and you acted quickly, that's usually a sign that you're getting a good deal on that property. And my objective, obviously, as your coach, is to see that you're only buying powerful deals, because the more money you make on the deals, the more you're going to tell people what a great coach that I am, and then the more students I'm going to get into the coaching program. So it's definitely a win-win-win situation when we work together to find you a deal. All right. One more. In the El Paso County region, there are HUDs all over the state of Colorado, but obviously we're here in El Paso County, so I'd like to look here first. I actually saw this property, almost went under contract on it. We negotiated a much lower price than this is actually priced at now. As you can see here, not in terrible shape, right? This one is not terrible. We could probably get this remodel done for about $20,000 to $25,000, give or take, right? And retail on this would suggest about 380 to 390. So as long as we keep our remodel budget solid, it's going to be a good deal. I want you to note here that they're listing it as a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, because HUD very often does not count the finished basement on the property. HUD's working on a national level. Certain regions count basement square footage, other regions do not. So HUD, in an attempt to neutralize that on their site, very often does not include the basement square footage. I haven't seen them use basement square footage in a while, but this is actually a 4-bedroom, 1 3/4 bath property based at 80909. Again, very hard to get a property below 400,000 in general, but a nice property below 400 is almost impossible. So this would be listed just below 400 after you did the work on it. If you bought it for the early threes, right, about this price range, put 20 to 25,000 into it, you'd be in it for 340 and you'd be selling it for 390. That's a deal. Right? If your gross spread, you take your gross spread and you cut it in half and you're happy with that, then that should be what you're going to net on the property when you complete the remodel. The target is $25,000 a deal, but we want to average that by doing lots of deals instead of focusing on just making that on one deal. I can help you with that. I can help you get past your concerns, your biases, your fears, and allow you to do a deal that's profitable. All you have to do is take the first step in the process, which is let's hop on a call, discuss coaching one-on-one, and see if it's a good fit. I got to tell you, I don't want to sell the coaching. This is not a sales pitch by any means. I'm looking for people who really already wanted to invest in real estate. They had a desire to do it. They just didn't know where to get started. Okay. If that describes you, I would love to chat with you. Message me, please. Just shoot me a quick DM here on Facebook or YouTube, or give me a call. Let's have a conversation and see if foreclosure investing is the right fit for you. It's not a shortage of deals right now, guys. It's a shortage of courage. When the market is in a state of flux as it is right now, a lot of people want to bow out. And that's why we're seeing deals, really solid deals, languish on the market a little bit longer. I can tell you with certainty, if you step out of that fear state and start evaluating these deals on the numbers, as so few of the general public knows how to do, okay, then you're going to find opportunities all over the marketplace. You just have to be willing and open and receptive to those opportunities. And so few people have the hand holding or the knowledge set to do that. That describes me as well. When I was first getting started, I didn't know anything about real estate investing. Logically, this is a lot of money. It's a big purchase for most people. It's fearful when you're getting going. When you have guidance, when you have hand holding, when you have coaching, it gets much easier to do a deal that's going to be lucrative and profitable. And I can tell you, as a guy who's done hundreds of flips in my career, it is life-changing once you break through that and start looking at the market of, oh my gosh, there are literally deals everywhere. You just got to know how to act on them and how to fund them and how to fix them properly and how to sell them. There's a lot of moving parts, but with my help, we can simplify those parts and make it profitable. All right, we got about 5 minutes left in the show today. Let's open it up a little bit for questions on HUD properties. Once again, a HUD foreclosure is an FHA loan gone bad. So it was insured by the FHA. The government took it as a collateral instrument to get their money back. Now they're selling it generally at a discount. HUD properties start generally about 10% below market. 10% below market is not generally enough to put a deal together. We need to be at 20% or more below market generally to get a deal that's going to be lucrative, but there's a starting price on HUDs that works most of the time and is worth exploring to see if we can negotiate with HUD to get a lower price on the property, which I can do 95% of the time. It's very easy to negotiate with HUD and their online bidding system to get a lower price. So would love to hear your questions about HUD properties. Would love to get you into a HUD property if the numbers make sense, because the idea of the coaching is that we're doing enough deals consistently that we make money. So you want to do more deals. Right? There's a lot of gurus out there who are simply selling their services. They want to make money on the coaching side. They don't care if anybody gets results. I don't want to be that coach. For you guys, my objective is if you're serious about doing this enough to make an investment in the coaching product, then we as a group will be able to do deals together where I made some money on the coaching. I make a little bit of money on the property. I mark them up a little bit as long as I can leave enough profit on the deal for you that you can make your 25 grand. We try to be a win-win situation, but I'm super transparent about how the whole program works, and it's purely focused on the benefit to my clients. The more deals you do, the more money you're going to make. The more money you're going to make, the more the system succeeds. The more the system succeeds, the more money the system's going to make. So it really is a self-fulfilling deal, and it's a lot of benefit to the client. Bunch of people still watching today. Would love to hear your questions. Please hop in and let's talk about your foreclosure journey. The time to invest really is now. Okay. And the reason I say that is because it is a little slower today, which means if you started a project right now here in November, you'd be in construction for about 4 to 6 weeks, which has you coming out of construction right about January, right? That's when the market's going to start to ramp back up a little bit, and we're going to start seeing buying season. I won't kid you. Houses listed right now are going to take longer to sell. And I've got clients who have houses listed right now, and we understand it's going to take a little bit longer to offload those properties. Days on market isn't your enemy. What is the enemy is the interest you're paying on the loan. So we have to try to get these properties sold as quickly as possible, A, so we can maximize our profit, and B, so you can get to the next deal, because the opportunity cost of the next deal is higher than any amount of interest or additional rehab that you might have to do. So the key is you want to keep the money moving, right? And I can help you to do that if you've got a little bit of investment capital. Generally speaking, I like to work with people who have about 50,000 or so liquid. It doesn't have to be your money, though it's obviously easier if you've got 50 grand or so in cash, but that's all you need to get started. A lot of people come to this thinking they need hundreds of thousands of dollars available to do a deal. You don't. You just need the down payment money. And today the lenders are generally lending 85% of the purchase price. So you need 15% down. So as a quick example, if we were looking at that property on Bradley at 322 and we negotiated that down to 300, which I think is feasible, you would need $45,000 down to purchase that property today. Okay, so take advantage of that. Use leverage capital to get more capital to do deals. I can promise you 2 things. Number 1, investing in real estate is one of the best ways in the country to get rich in this country. You've got the stock market, which is super volatile. Okay, you don't know which way it's going to go, and you've got real estate, which although has some volatility, it's nowhere near the volatility that we see when we're dealing with the stock market. Okay. The other thing is the skill set you're going to learn, it can be used in any market, anywhere, at any time. Okay. So once you understand the power of buying low and selling high in the real estate industry, you are absolutely set. It's a big ticket item. Everybody needs a place to live. So if you've got the skill set to do this on a consistent basis, you can always make money in any market. The key is you just got to take those first couple of steps to get started, get the knowledge that you need, get the coaching that you need to move forward and start doing deals. All right, guys, that is pretty much the show for today. If there are no questions, we will wrap it up with that. I really appreciate all of you tuning in each and every single week to this live Q&A with me, Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach. I hope we can get together sometime and get a deal done. I am certain now is the time, this is the market, and I can help you to do a deal right here in this market. With that, this is Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, thanking you so much for tuning in and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a deal.